ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest gaming news with your host, V-Gaming Junkie. The Dross got arrogant and was shown the airlock, so there's nothing but pure gaming-related meatiness. It is all about that electronic good stuff as we dive deep into all that's new in the various interactive virtual worlds. Starting us out with is a huge leak of Grand Theft Auto 6 assets, including pre-alpha footage. Before 2K Games starts throwing their ban hammer around, I'd like to point out that I'm only reporting on things that GameSpot has, so take it up with them. Supposedly, this hacker named TeapotTuber Hacker claims to have GTA 5 and 6 source code and assets. This is allegedly in addition to a GTA 6 test build. The footage that was included was confirmed real and apparently includes a male and female protagonist. This would seem to at least confirm the talks about the game being a Bonnie and Clyde type of situation. Take-Two has been a little upset taking the ban hammer to leaked images or videos of it. This only further proves that it's all legitimate, and it's why I'm pointing out that I'm only saying what GameSpot is saying, so please don't ban this video. Rockstar also confirmed the hacking took place, which actually sounds sort of similar to the Giga leak Nintendo went through now that I think about it. Rockstar has basically confirmed that they will continue with development, although I'm not exactly super excited for GTA 6 personally. The market is saturated with enough open world games that I don't think Rockstar specifically has anything to make their series really stand out anymore. If you're excited for it though, I hope it lives up to your expectations, and obviously I do not condone this hacking. Very interesting news story though, and a very major one at that. And as if all that still wasn't crazy enough, GTA 6 isn't the only upcoming game that got somewhat leaked. It seems Diablo IV likewise got over 40 minutes of test footage leaked online. While that's nowhere near as bad as GTA 5 and 6 allegedly getting assets and source codes leaked out, it's still one of those things game companies don't want to get out there too soon. It wasn't caused by some major server hacker either, it was a private Discord stream and one of those in attendance was secretly recording it. Yep, it's the digital equivalent of sneaking a camera into a movie theater or something along those lines. Looking at the footage myself, it's got private test build marked all over it just to make it obvious what it is. It's also really hard to see anything, it's like there's a thick green fog over 95% of the game. I would say it has to do with resolution or bitrate or something, but there are spots in the video where it clears up. I really hope that all the game isn't like that. Even if there was a game reason for it to be murky like that, it doesn't look like it's going to be especially fun to navigate through. Granted, maybe that's the point and it's supposed to be low visibility as a challenging area, but it just looks like it would be annoying. I'm sure at least a few people are excited for this though. It can't be any worse than Diablo Immortal, given that literally had its game engine lifted from a mobile Diablo clone, which is just ironic. Honestly though, the last time I had fun with this kind of game was Torchlight 2. It's a little repetitive, but I enjoyed it, I'd recommend it. In other news, Frosk has left G4 TV. For those of you who aren't in the know, she stirred up some controversy on the network's relaunch recently. From what I understand, it all started when she declared the PS5 to be a dead man walking, which as you can imagine, anyone who likes the PS5 didn't take too kindly to. I don't know if it's connected to what happens next or not, but the timing is at least very interesting. She suddenly goes off on a rant about sexism and how female hosts on G4 TV don't exist to be easy on the eyes to you. I'm not even going to get into that can of worms like the old segment in G4 where Olivia Munn's on a couch in, let's say, a less than dressed state. However, like I said, it's pretty convenient how this happens while she's getting blowback for insulting the PS5. You could theorize it was done as a diversion, though obviously that's speculation. People didn't really take too kindly to that as G4 TV struggled to maintain ratings after that. Even when they kinda sorta backpedaled and had an interesting segment with Amaranth and a bikini ball pit interestingly enough, which kind of undermines the whole not meant to be easy on the ice thing. After being forced to lay off several workers there, Frosk almost mockingly tweeted, "I survived." You could actually take that as a stab against the people who were laid off who had nothing to do with the controversies. I can't say if she was forced to leave or not, but again it's interesting timing. Honestly though, G4 TV as a whole seems redundant in the current era. You can watch idiots like me blab about games all you want, and for free, you don't really need a TV show for that. And so Microsoft's Phil Spencer has announced that Microsoft has acquired enough game studios and they're going to focus solely on making the hardware and software as appealing as possible with what they've got. Heh, just kidding, that's not really how modern day large companies work at all. Spencer has suggested they're not finished yet, even saying they're not pressing pause on anything. He didn't come right out and say you will be assimilated, resistance is futile, but he's pretty much pointing in that direction. Sadly, this means it looks like the future will be more exclusive titles, not less. I mostly game on PC, so anything Microsoft gains will almost certainly be a plus for me, but I still want PlayStation and Switch owners to enjoy as much as they can too. Just like I would like to enjoy my freaking Bloodborne already from Software. My usual complaining about a lack of Bloodborne PC port aside, it seems even Activision won't be enough for Microsoft should it go through. I can't wait to see what these companies attempt to gobble up next. Even Nintendo sort of got into that since they basically own Bayonetta now. When the company the most well known for their first parties is trying to leap at exclusives from other companies, you know that's where it's headed with a vengeance, for better and certainly worse. This next news story isn't really about video games, but it's about the entertainment industry at large, and it's honestly pretty funny. Bob Chapek was accidentally called Bob Paycheck by a CNBC reporter. Now by itself, this would just seem like a silly little gab not worthy of anyone's attention. However, with Disney's actions as of late, it's honestly pretty accurate if you ask me. Between lazily remaking old properties, really putting the squeeze on people who visit their parks, and trying to absorb every IP under the sun, it seems maximizing the money is their mission statement. Bob Chapek, or Bob Cheapskate in particular, is known for being very tight when it comes to spending any money, wanting to cheap out and cut corners as much as he possibly can to get a profit. How accurate that perception is obviously varies from person to person, but there's at least enough people who think that to make this mix-up absolutely hilarious. Honestly though, it's a real shame how much Disney has fallen from grace if nothing else. That's not entirely on Chapek, of course, but he's not exactly pulling it out of the fire either. Nah, I probably shouldn't go on a rant like this. This is supposed to be a silly little news story. Heh, Bob Paycheck. He just wants his paycheck, and who cares about everyone else? And so Sega is going to drop the Yakuza name from their game series. While that sort of sounds like it's going to be a censorship due to gang associations, it actually sounds like it's going to become closer to its Japanese name. The Japanese name roughly translates to the extreme path, and this is like a dragon, so not entirely the same. Still, you could argue it's somewhat similar, since being a dragon would definitely be an extreme path. It'd be like if Capcom changed Resident Evil's name to be more akin to Biohazard, maybe Resident Biohazard or something like that. While it could still potentially be a form of censorship to disassociate with Japanese gangs, I'd say probably not. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this one, and admittedly Like a Dragon kind of sounds cooler. Although to make it even more like its Japanese name, I think Path of Dragon would sound even cooler. Or maybe not, since it might be mistaken for the Covenant in Dark Souls. I still think it would sound cooler though, maybe something like the Dragon's Path or something. If you're in Germany, then I've got good news for you, because you can at long last play Wolfenstein 3D. That's right, according to PC Gamer, Wolfenstein 3D was finally given an official age rating from Germany's age rating board. While the game has technically been legal for a while now, the lack of an age rating made it hard to sell. Wolfenstein 3D itself is 16 and up, while Spear of Destiny is 18 and up. I wonder why that could be. Maybe it's because the latter ends up with Doom's Hell at the end. Due to a certain ahem symbol by a certain hate group despite being portrayed as bad guys, the game was banned in Germany for the longest time. It also caused newer Wolfenstein games to have to censor the symbols, at least for that region. It even brought back Straightmeister from the SNES Wolfenstein, or at least it looks like it, because they removed his mustache. It's kind of ironic when you think about it that Germany is still the one pushing the hardest for censorship. You know, given what that group was known for doing to unsavory books and all. Anyway, it's good to know that German gamers can finally enjoy this legendary game legally, and it only took them 30 years. Game on, and enjoy the one that kickstarted the FPS genre. Just to end things on a good note here, Nintendo historians have discovered a piece of Super Mario 64 content that was cut from development. As reported on by Games Radar, the Render Archive put out a call to see if anyone could find a 1996 Nintendo Company report. Nintoid actually stepped forward with a copy of the report. Among many other things is a few images of some Mr. Eyes shooting bubbles at Mario in what looks similar to Big Boo's haunt. Even if neither element was entirely clipped from the game, it's interesting to see what new things are still being found over 26 years after its release date. Then again, the source code for the game was leaked recently. While I obviously don't endorse that at all, especially the way it was done, it'll be very interesting to see how it's utilized if nothing else. In the meantime though, it's equally interesting seeing little glimpses like this into the development the game went through on its way to release. I recommend checking out the cutting room floor in Beta 64, they're a goldmine when it comes to stuff like that. And as always, straight out of the oven of Games Radar, it's time for the latest batch of release dates. The 26th just has The Spirit of the Mask for PC, while the 27th has Dual Universe for PC, Hoko Life for the 3 last gens, and Life is Strange Arcadia Bay Collection for Switch. The 28th has Death vs. Let It Die for PS4 and Destroyer the U-Boat Hunter for PC. The 29th begins with Brewmaster for the 6 major platforms, Dofromantic for Switch, and From Space for PC, Switch, and Stadia. It continues with Moonbreaker for PC, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous for the 3 last gens, and Railgrade for PC and Switch. It rounds out with Valkyrie Elysium for PlayStation, FIFA 23 for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and My Little Pony: A Maritime Bay Adventure for PS5 and Series X. This week's epic freebie until next Thursday is, drumroll please, another 2-for-1 special. The first one is Ark Survival Evolved, a survival game all about taming dinosaurs and escaping by any means necessary. The other one is Gloomhaven, basically an adaptation of a board game that mixes tactical RPG and dungeon crawling. And that concludes the news broadcast as always. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. If you good people want more content, I Let's Play every single day at high noon, live stream Mondays and Thursdays unless otherwise specified at 4:30 p.m, and I do news videos like this one every Friday at 6 p.m. All in Eastern Standard Time, of course. If you're a real junkie for all things gaming like I am, then feel free to hit that subscribe and bell icon to get your next fix. A like and a comment are always appreciated for that engagement, but I just hope you genuinely enjoyed yourself, and that is it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Make sure to spread this video around like unexpected game leaks, and I will see you next time. Capitalize on life, peace out, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.